Hello Leo, Leo Rising and Leo Moon people. This is your monthly astrological horoscope for the month of August 2017. And just a quick update for everybody, letting you know I'm actually putting out a special video later on this week on the Uranus retrograde. This is a different kind of Uranus retrograde in Aries than what we've had the last few years. And I always cover it, but this is different. It's the last time Uranus will be exclusively committed to Aries and going retrograde for a very long time. So I want to make sure I dedicate a special video to that. So stay tuned. And of course, if you ever want to get a session with me or get a copy of the Tarot Home Study course, you can always go to my website, integrativemysticism.com. So what is going on with this month for a lot of you Leo people? Well, this month, we've actually got some leftover energies. From July, we've got Venus in Cancer in your 12th house of your past, your privacy, your hidden zone. And it's going to be there pretty much all the way up until we get to the 26th of the month. And when Venus is in our 12th house, it's about making sure that we are pulling our closest people closer. Alright, Venus in the 12th, we're getting away from, I guess you could say a lot of superficial friendships this month. If you're not a BFF, you're not getting all the time. Venus in the 12th house can also, however, be a wonderful aspect for love and for romance, especially if we're looking to kind of get past certain layers, certain barriers to intimacy. Maybe there could be some old information or some secrets coming out for you and a partner to bond over. Secrets about one of your guys' pasts, maybe your upbringings, your childhoods. These revealings, this vulnerability is actually going to be serving everyone extremely well. And we also see with Venus in this area of your chart, you may even find that somebody who's been a secret admirer of you may be revealing themselves. We've also got Mars in your sign all month, giving you the, I guess you could say, the wild card blessings of Mars, and we've got a lot of wild card blessings for you this month anyway. And with the Mars energy, remember, Mars is about action, energy, conviction, competition, forcefulness. And if you have any need for that kind of energy, whether it's to make competitive gains, competitive strides, professionally, academically, maybe you are an athlete and you want to work on your physical health, your physical well-being, this is a wonderful, wonderful month for getting in shape. This is also a wonderful time for those of you that are trying to maybe actually get the one-up on a competitor. If you have been competing in terms of business, or you've been dealing with perhaps even a need to defend yourself in a situation where you feel like maybe there's been a lot of attacks going on, a lot of pettiness. Mars doesn't like to do petty dramas, it doesn't do victim-y crap, and we tend to see Mars come to, create a situation that will silence that issue forever in a good way. So that may also be a boon that you want to have this month. On the 7th of the month, we've got a full moon lunar eclipse in Aquarius in your 7th house of partnerships. That's your closest one-on-one relationships, your BFF, boyfriend, girlfriend, business partner, roommate, husband, wife, all the people you spend all your closest one-on-one time with. And it's a very important eclipse for a lot of you because it starts a window period from about the 7th of August going up until, November-ish. And what happens is a lot of these close one-on-one relationships will most likely be tested. It's a pass-or-fail kind of test, to be honest. And you may actually notice that over the course of the next few months, you're going to have to decide if, again, are we willing to stay with this business partner? Is it time to throw out that roommate? Is our best friend still our best friend? When we look at this kind of energy, it's about examining the quality and the staying power of it. Can this relationship handle the good times and the bad times? If a relationship deteriorates every time there's a sign of trouble, this eclipse is going to highlight its weaknesses. And what's going to happen is this will also bring an opportunity for graduation and completion. Lunar eclipses can also be opportunities for promotion and evolution. But again, we've got to go through the pass-or-fail test anyway. So, over the course of the next few, over the course of the next few months, pay attention to what could be going on there. Alright? It doesn't mean that everyone's going to run out and, get a divorce and break up. It's never that cut and dry simple, and certainly never that extreme, across the board. What it's going to do, though, is that, again, it is going to highlight those, it's going to point out the cracks that are already there. And you're going to have to decide what to do with it, because this could actually make everything a hell of a lot stronger. On the 12th, we do have Mercury turning retrograde in Virgo in your earned income sector. And Mercury retrograde is going to be there pretty much up until about the end of the month. And then it'll move somewhere else. And with Mercury retrograde in Virgo, you know, when we have Mercury retrograde in the earned income sector, you're going to be noticing a lot of repeats from the past. This could actually be really good. If you're looking forward to having repeat customers, you know, building up more repeat clients, or getting an old clientele back, an old demographic back, an old customer base back, you could really notice a boost to your sales. However, with Mercury retrograde in the earned income sector, it's also important to pay attention to the fact that this is going to create some inconsistencies when it comes to the quality, you know, the type of work that you're going to be doing, the type of work assignments you're going to be getting. Deadlines may shift, you know, they get moved forward sometimes. We may find that we're doing projects that don't need to be done. We're getting projects, you know, too late or too short notice. And it's important to allow yourself time to be able to kind of, you know, roll with it, unfortunately, just to, you know, bend like the trees, don't break, so you can actually be able to handle what's going on there. It doesn't say anything bad about your finances, but what it is basically saying is that it's almost making it harder to get ahead, you know, and so it's only lasting for a couple of weeks, you know, so again, I always say focus on the impermanence of things, because impermanence is, you know, is a gift. It can be a wicked gift or it can be a wonderful gift, depending on your philosophy. On the 21st of the month, we've got our big solar eclipse in your sign, Leo, and it will be most impactful to those of you born between the 19th and the 22nd of the month, but it will affect all Leos nonetheless. And what it's going to be doing, this solar eclipse, is offering you a brand new beginning. Remember, solar eclipses are new beginnings, lunar eclipses are endings. So the solar eclipse, we talk about a new beginning. It is in your sign, so what do you want to actually embark on? There's something that you commit to over the course of the next few months. Again, these energies are going to be at their peak or in their prime going up until about November. And so it doesn't always just happen on one day. What begins for you? You know, what are you trying to start? What are you trying to get off the ground? And what can you commit to? You know, what can you commit to? Because whatever comes, whatever you put forth into motion, especially between the end of August, the end of September, will most likely end up coming to pass. This could be a wonderful opportunity for a transition, whether it's a transition into a new kind of family situation that you want to have. Maybe it's an opportunity for you to promote yourself, to get into a new crowd, to make more money, start a, work on a new relationship. It's a wild card new moon. You can put this towards anything. But these solar eclipses demand commitment. This is definitely not a brainstorm, wishy-washy kind of energy, okay? So be prepared. A new beginning will be offered, and whatever you take, you have to commit to, okay? On the 22nd of the month, we do have the Sun moving into Virgo, into that earned income sector, where he will be up until about the third week of September. And when we have the Sun going into our earned income sector, we tend to focus on getting more out of wherever the Sun goes, increasing its yield, okay? So we're starting to get more out of the work that we do. We're starting to either get more socially, whether it's more professional benefits, more financial payouts, maybe we're getting more recognition, we're getting more opportunities for advancement. The Sun is basically, again, infusing it with more. When we talk about things like fertility, fertility isn't just about the ability to bear children. Fertility is like the yield of your crop. You know, it's how successful a harvest are you having. And there's a big opportunity with this Sun in your in Virgo, in your earned income sector, to actually build on your earnings a lot. It's going to be especially profitable in the last week of this month, and again going into the first couple of weeks of September. On the 25th of the month, we do have Saturn turning direct in Sagittarius, in your 5th house of your relationship with your children, your kids, your creative projects, and things like that. And with Saturn retrograde over the last few months, you know, a lot of challenges, blockades and tests and things, you were given a recess from that. Now, Saturn's been in this part of your chart for the last few years. And what Saturn does in the 5th house, I always tell my clients, is that, you know, if you're single, it's not making it hard for you to, it's not going to keep you single forever. Obviously, because Saturn's not going to be there forever. So again, focus on impermanence. That's wisdom. But but Saturn in the 5th house basically says, look, we are only going to find the things that are good for you. And if you're not learning how to look in the right places for what's good for you, you won't get anything out of a bad dating pool, okay? And over the last few months, you have been given a bit more freedom to do your own thing. You've been given a bit more freedom to kind of, again, do whatever the heck you want. But when Saturn is direct, it's kind of saying, look, no, we're only going to let you have things which are going to be good for you. We're not going to let you have things which are going to be bad for you. And you've got to pay attention to where, maybe, okay, when it comes to our relationships, where do we need to be more scrutinizing? Okay, where do we need to be more, cognizant or accepting of the truth about the nature of the people we're dating? Relationships with our kids can also go through the same test when Saturn's in the 5th house. Sometimes we've got to pay attention to our parenting style. What kind of relationship do we have with our kids? Are we giving them the life that is going to give them the best opportunities, make them the most skilled, the most resilient, and the best they can be? Are we maybe raising them in a way that is a reflection of the way we were raised, on accident? Saturn brings to the conscious what's unconscious. Sometimes that happens. I've got a relative who's a Leo, and he was saying, like, I didn't know I was being my father to my son, and I didn't even like how I was raised, and that's a very Saturn in the 5th house kind of thing to kind of be aware of. And so it's kind of bringing all of those energies to light. It can be a little bit emotionally tense, to be honest. Luckily, it's only here until December, but it's important to learn those lessons as well. Don't flunk out of the class and wait for it to go. Take advantage of the opportunity, because Saturn gives, it's like the North Node. It gives the biggest challenges, but the biggest rewards. On the 26th of the month, we've got Venus going into your sign, and for the last couple of days of the month, and especially going into September, you get the wild card blessings of Venus, turning you into a magnet. And when we talk about magnets and magnetism and attraction, what have you been trying to draw into your space? What have you been trying to attract into your space and into your life? You tend to get a lot of favors, you tend to win a lot of popularity contests, you get a lot of celebrity treatment when Venus is in your sign. And Venus in the 1st house can also be a great opportunity for you, especially if you are, again, looking to get something noticed more affordably. We tend to notice with Venus in our sign that we get a lot of good deals. It may not cost as much to invest in, say, an art portfolio, or a business, or your education, or even your own, physical health routine. You're going to be noticing that these things are going to come easier to you, which is going to be a nice little break. On the 31st of the month, we've got Mercury turning retrograde from Virgo all the way back into your sign for about a week or two. Certainly not forever. And with Mercury retrograde in your sign, it's important to pay attention to where, Leo, have we accidentally, where might we have some issues with not being crystal clear when we actually finally approach the opportunity to get what we want. Okay, so I'll give you an example. Say somebody is, they're at the suggestion box, the comment box at the office, or they're asking for improvement, and this person made a big deal about wanting to be there, and then as soon as they get on the stand to say their piece, they're like very general. I just think it could be better. Abundance. I just want to know, And what happens with Mercury retrograde is that it's kind of saying, here's another test, you've got to be able to articulate your wishes, and I think there's going to be a lot of lessons. Sometimes it can be comedic, sometimes it can be frustrating, especially in September, where you're kind of noticing that nothing happens when nothing knows what you want. So, pay attention to that. You will get a leg up on a lot of people who are not learning that, there is an opportunity there. You've got to be able to know thyself as well. It's also getting you back in touch with the parts of yourself that you don't know. Because some people don't even know what they care about. Some people don't even know what they're passionate about. And they look to other people to tell them what to be passionate about. And that is playing with fire. So that is your horoscope, Leo. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please like, share, and subscribe. I appreciate it. And of course, if you ever want to get a session, you can always follow the links below, or go to integrativemysticism.com. I'm going to go get a lint roller.